Judge, this is matter set for final pretrial. We have this for jury trial tomorrow. Having discussed this with the prosecutor, is the agreement of the parties that the instant cases would be dismissed. Now, my client has valid registration and insurance, Your Honor, so we would ask that those matters be dismissed for compliance. The remaining issues, as the court noted, is that the defendant does not have a valid driver's license, and I would ask the court to dismiss that case on the basis of prosecutorial discretion. The defendant understands that would be all of these dismissals today are based on technicalities and are without prejudice, and therefore it is the discretion of the prosecutor whether or not they wish to recharge these counts at any time in the future.
And it's the court's discretion on whether the court wants to accept that as a that offer that the prosecutor has extended. And as I was talking off the record, the court doesn't see really any fairness in these sovereign citizens being able to come in and proclaim that. With the court has seen no basis for it at all whatsoever. The rest of the individuals are required to either get a valid driver's license, or the court extends those offers or accepts those offers when individuals come and rectify the situation after the fact, which the court doesn't have to do, but does that routinely when people go and drive and get a valid license. So I'm not going to accept the plea of the city attorney, city attorney's office in the because essentially, I don't know, because they don't want to fight the matter or something. It's going to have to go, because I don't think it's fair to the rest of the citizens that come in here, and if they don't have a valid license or can't get a valid license, to resolve their matter with some sort of deal, but have Ms. Graves and the rest of the sovereign citizen nation come in here and they get their cases dismissed just because I don't know the reason in particular, but what I would surmise is that they just don't want to deal with it. So I'm not going to accept all. We can
Understood, Your Honor. May I make a clarification that actually the defendant made to me with respect to the sovereign citizen aspect of this argument? My understanding is that this is not that this individual is arguing that. Well, why don't you give some clarification, Ms. Graves, to the arguments you're making, that this court doesn't have jurisdiction or has to prove jurisdiction, that jurisdiction is not because you're present in the jurisdiction. Can you tell us why you're not subject to the laws of the city of Detroit when you are a driver in the city of Detroit?
First of all, I thank you for this opportunity to speak, Your Honor. I am here appearing specially, not generally, and I am raising my abatement on Misnomer. And that I'm raising my abatement on Misnomer, and that's it. I'm raising my abatement on Misnomer.
I don't even understand what that means.
I'm sorry, can you say it again?
I don't even understand what you just said or the meaning of what you just said.
I'm raising my abatement on the grounds of Misnomer because I've been misidentified in this case, and I'm just pointing out the defect in the case. And I'm aware that Misnomer is a very fatal mistake in a case. So I just wanted to point that out in my case.
Is that misnomer? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
All right. So so obviously, what Ms. Graves, what I understand Ms. Graves is trying to say is that they pulled over the wrong person. It wasn't her that was actually driving. If she's saying that I guess that's what she's indicating. I don't know. Maybe you can
No,
clarify that.
Your Honor, respectfully, no, that's not what I'm implying at all. I don't deny that I was not there in the interaction on, that day with the police officer. I'm not denying that at all. I was there and I am present now here as well. What I am saying is that there has been a misidentification between me and another party. I've been misidentified as a corporate fiction rather than a natural person,
All right. So
which is
that's the same sovereign citizen stuff. Just doesn't, that's the same sovereign citizens argument in the court's eyes. So I don't, that whole, I'm not a person, I'm a corporation, and I get to be able to travel freely upon this road and without impediment. Listen, this is the state of Michigan, the city of Detroit. The Constitution and the amendments to the Constitution give the state the authority to force individuals on the road to keep for the safety, health, and welfare of its citizens, to have a minimum requirement for them to be able to drive and try for the safety of the individuals on this road. So the fact that you feel, or I'm assuming that you feel that you don't have to have this because you're this special entity or whatever claims that you're making, the court does not recognize those claims. Therefore, the court is not going to accept the fact that the prosecuting attorney, or the city attorney in this case, does not want to go forward with it because they don't pretty much, I guess they don't want to take the time. I'm going to force this case to go either to trial, or I'm going to force this case to go to a plea. You have your absolute right to a trial. You have a jury trial set for tomorrow. What we'll do before the end of the court today, we'll have a sidebar with the city attorney, or you can speak with the city attorney, Mr. Baughman, and you can go over that and you can relay the court's apprehension to take this deal to the city attorney and see when they want to move forward. Okay, and you can set, we'll give that, we'll at least give that opportunity to set a new date. But that stuff that Ms. Graves is speaking on, however you want to be, however you want to be addressed, Ms. Graves, the court has quite frankly is getting pretty tired of it. All right.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I would like to request evidence that the court does have jurisdiction over my living person and not my
That's
corporate.
not the court. That's not the way the system operates, ma'am. You need to read the Michigan court rules and educate yourself better. I don't know who's been teaching you this stuff, but quite frankly, the court does not have to give you any jurisdiction. You challenge jurisdiction. The court says you were pulled over in the city of Detroit. You indicated that you were at the scene. The officer gave you a ticket. That is notice for you to come to court. You set a court date, and therefore you're here now. So other than jurisdiction being that you weren't in the city of Detroit when this offense occurred or these allegations occurred, then the court will hear an argument about that. But as far as anything else other than that, whatever you're speaking on, the court is not going to even entertain that. All right.
Respectfully, Your Honor, my
We
presence
understand, Your Honor.
does not equal established
I told you I'm
jurisdiction.
not entertaining that stuff. I let you make your record. You've made it many times, and there's a record down here. So either go back in the breakout room and wait on Mr. Baughman to figure out what this trial date is going to be. I'm going to let you be heard, and you can put that to a jury of your peers. All right, and the jury of your peers accept your argument about you not having to have a driver's license and the court not having jurisdiction, then that won't even go to a jury. But if the court will accept your argument about whatever your position is, ma'am, and they find you not guilty, then that'll be the case. But other than that, we're not going to keep going back and forth with this. All right.
Okay, respectfully, Your Honor, I would like to say I will not wait.
No more. Pass the matter. Rejoin the
I just want to
breakout.
make sure that I'm not.
No more. Pass the matter. Rejoin the
Judge, may I
breakout.
place the
And
defendant
go
in
to your
breakout room
attorney.
5?
Thank you. All right, let's go back on the record with Ms. Graves. Mr. Baughman, what does your client want to do?
So, Judge, this matter is set today for final pretrial. I do respect and honor the court's decision with respect to our motion for with regard to jurisdiction, and we do have an intention to proceed with the finding of fact as scheduled. My client wishes, for her own personal reasons, to ask the court to consider adjourning tomorrow's bench trial, at least for a later time. She has an appointment. My understanding, it is directly related to her ongoing issue with securing a place to live. And she's been offered some assistance, but that at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, she's expected in a meeting to help her find housing. She's asking for the briefest of adjournments if this court would consider even a later time for us to convene for trial. That would be manageable for us. I'm prepared for trial, prepared to move forward. I don't know, Your Honor, that you required that the complaining witnesses appear for today's final pretrial. But as a matter of policy, I would ask that you would consider a motion to dismiss for a lack of those complaining witnesses to appear at this final pretrial, as we are on the eve of a jury trial tomorrow.
Ms. Horn?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. One thing I did want to clarify to the court is that I was not dismissing based on her arguments. I was moving to dismiss for valid documents, Your Honor. And in lieu of the resources that it will take to go to jury trial, that was a bigger consideration. However, the people are ready to proceed. I did offer until Mr. Baughman advised that she was struggling with housing, which I think makes her an excellent candidate considering she has a child for possibly street court. So I'm open to whatever's in the interest of justice, Your Honor.
May I make a record?
I understand that you were dismissing for documents, but the issue was not having the valid driver's license. That's where the issue comes up. Go ahead, Mr. Baughman.
So I spoke at length with my client yesterday about, or day before yesterday, about street court and street justice and about how that would comport to some of her needs. She is currently in a shelter. She has a young son. I think he's 2. And she's also has some needs with respect to employment and quite possibly healthcare that could be in form and prospectively would be met if she would participate in our street justice program. I did mistakenly tell her that it might be a year commitment. I want to make sure that I correct that, because Ms. Horn says this is a 90-day turnaround, that the cases and the instant cases would eventually be dismissed once we get Ms. Graves the help that she needs with respect to what we've placed on the record, as well as with respect to getting her driver's license back on track. Then she would be in compliance, Your Honor. I don't know why she doesn't want to accept that.
But I'm thinking that this one, first of all, I would love to see Ms. Graves be able to get in the street court program, and I hate to have her out there with no housing and a small child, but I would think that the street court program, there would be at some point some admission to responsibility. And that is the real issue with Ms. Graves, is not one to take responsibility and articulating time and time again. Every time I've seen her, she's articulated the same argument, which a court describes as a sovereign citizen argument. I know Ms. Graves doesn't term it as that, but it gives everything she's saying is the same thing that the sovereign citizens come and report to the court. So I don't know if I can always get Mr. Patel in here, and I will do that if that's necessary. I have no issue with that, but I think moving forward, I think that is going to have to be, you know, she's going to have to change her position or something. I don't know how it seems like she's pretty stuck on that position that she has. So that's one issue. The other issue is that there is brought up to the court about the issue of the complaining witness not being here. It is my policy that on the date of trial, on the date of the final pretrial, all of the individuals are supposed to appear. That goes to Ms. That goes to Madam Prosecutor Horn's argument of the necessary cost as it relates to bringing a jury in. And to avert that cost, we want to make sure that everything is ready to go. Auguste was not here today. I don't have it written on the file that that's the action that I was taking, but that's not my normal course of action. He's usually here on, and he usually appears. So he's probably on all the cases.
So you
except for
did you say to find out tomorrow?
misdemeanor cases, Ms. Wright, particularly Wright, is not here. So, yeah, I didn't mark that on the file. It's just gonna either go. What time will you be at the dealing with the housing issue? What time will you be done with that? Do you think, Ms. Graves?
I'm not sure, but here's my case manager. She knows more.
Right.
Could you place your name on the record and who you are?
My name is Kim Carter. I'm her case manager here at the Fox shelter. She's in a homeless shelter. We have her housing scheduled tomorrow between, I believe it's between 8 and I want to say 10, but it may not end till like 11 or 11:30. It's for her to secure permanent housing to leave and able to leave the shelter.
All right, and good morning to you, ma'am. And what are the chances? Oh, here's Lewandowski here now. What are the chances that is that what you called him in, Ms. Horn?
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor, I did call him in. I was not aware that he was supposed to be here, especially this cold case is first impression to me. But I did want him to be here to hear and see what we're going to decide or what Your Honor is going to do today.
Okay, all right. And Madam Case Manager, is this a hearing that this Graves can is likely to be granted some permanent housing tomorrow?
Yes, so she'll be able to secure a voucher so that we can move her from the shelter into permanent housing.
Exactly. Okay, great. That's good news. So from what my understanding, Mr. Baughman, Mr. Patel is not necessary because that process is going through by the good people over there at the shelter. So that's congratulations on that. I'm glad to hear that. So we'll talk about moving this matter. We'll cancel the jury trial tomorrow.
Your Honor, forgive me for interrupting. Would you consider giving me some more time to work with my client? I'd like to see her get a valid driver's license. She is not suspended out of Detroit to somewhere else. I think I can help her identify that. And I think we can bring her back with a valid driver's license. That should please us all, most especially the defendant and the city of Detroit.
Well, I'd absolutely like that. I would like, thank you, Madam Counselor over at the shelter.
You're welcome.
I would like that, as well, but as I just say, from everything I've heard from Ms. Graves, that's not her intention. It doesn't seem as though it's her intentions. Are you willing to do the necessary steps to get a valid driver's license now?
Of course, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. What we'll do is I'm gonna reset this matter for a pretrial date on October the 13th. Congratulations, Ms. Graves, on the housing. And
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you mind telling me what day that is? If
That's a
possible?
Monday.
the 13th
Monday,
is a Monday. October the 13th is a Monday.
Okay.
All right, so at 8:30, Mr. Baughman, I appreciate you working with Ms. Graves. I'm glad that you seem to have gotten her attention, and I hope things work out. Thank God you got, you're gonna get that voucher, ma'am, and you're gonna get yourself situated on housing. And thank you, Mr. Baughman, for coming in and the advocacy that you've done. I don't know where you get the arguments that you're making, ma'am, but in the court's eyes, they have no basis in fact or law. All right, so I don't know how, if you can take that for what you want. You're your own individual, and you can make your own decisions. But that stuff, I'm changing my way I move forward with the sovereign citizens. I don't think it's fair that everyone else either has to bring a valid driver's license in, or they have to take some sort of punishment or plea because they don't want to operate, and sovereign citizens just get to. And I know, Ms. Horn, that's nothing to your, it's just been cases that the city just has dismissed the cases a few times in the past because they just don't feel the cost, but it's just not gonna happen here. All right.
And thank you, Your Honor. I was unaware of her sovereign argument altogether until we'd already discussed the resolution. So, but thank you for saying that, Your Honor.
Absolutely. Officer Klangowski, good morning. Can you state your name, badge number, department for the record, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Officer Maverick Klangowski, badge 746, Detroit Police.
All right.
My
No, and there's no need to apologize. I don't know if I told you, I didn't write it on the file. So if I told you, then maybe.
No, yeah,
no,
I only got the notice about the jury trial for tomorrow, so that's my apologies if I was supposed to be here earlier.
No, I didn't necessarily tell you that. It's just the court's policy, and it really comes from the chief judge, and that comes from the chief judge. And I understand it very well that if the people are not going to be ready and prepared, there's no sense in us inconveniencing the citizens of the city of Detroit for a jury trial that's not going to likely go. So other than that, we reset the matter to October the 13th. That's just a pre-trial date, and you'll get if another trial date is necessary, I'm sure you'll get the right subpoena. But I know that I said when I saw your name, I said he comes to court all the time. So I know he probably did not get the notice. All right.
Yeah, nope. I only got the one about tomorrow morning, so I was actually getting ready for that one.
All right. Best of luck to you. So now you gotta. Maybe I won't say you have some extra time because you may have a lot of other things to do, but hopefully you got some extra time. Have a good day. Be safe out there. All right, Ms. Graves, you be safe. Congratulations on that. And I hope that you find a nice, beautiful home for you and your little one. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you again, Your Honor. Thank you to the prosecutor. Thank you to the good officer. Mr. Graves, call me tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
All
Bye,
right,
everybody.
good job.
Have a great day.
So I just want to be clear. She never showed up for this violation hearing that was generated August 7th that alleges she had a 0.31 on a PBT administered by Flat Rock. And it apparently they were called to the defendant's home for an alleged assault. So we're going to handle that. And then I'll handle her motion.
That's fine.
So how is she going to proceed on this case with this motion, with this?
She would plead guilty with an explanation.
She actually has two counts, and I'm going to need Ms. Wilds in here. Count one is She failed to refrain from consuming alcohol, as I just outlined. Count 2, she failed to submit to twice monthly chemical testing as ordered on August the 13th of 15. So she's going to plead to 2 counts, correct?
That's correct. I wasn't aware of the missed testing, but she did test positive for alcohol that evening. That's the only one.
Testing was when I said I went to test.
So she's,
Did you miss testing?
On the 12th I did, or the 13th maybe, but I was there within 24 hours
Okay,
too.
but you did miss on the 13th. So yeah, she would plead guilty with an explanation, Your Honor. I apologize.
ma'am, if you plead guilty to these 2, these would be 2 technical violations. You could get 10 days. Do you understand that?
Yes,
You are entitled to a hearing. You have the right to a hearing. You have the right to bring in your own witnesses at that hearing. You have the right to cross-examine the probation department's witnesses. You have the right to testify or remain silent, and if you choose to remain silent, that silence would not be held against you. They have the burden of proof. They have to prove you violated by a preponderance of the evidence. If you plead guilty, you're waiving all those rights, and we will not have a hearing. Do you understand that?
yes,
Okay, just try to keep your voice up a little bit better for me, okay? You understand everything I've said?
yes,
As the count 1 that you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or drugs testing positive on a PBT on August 2nd of 25 with the results of a 0.31% BAC, how do you plead?
Guilty.
guilty,
Did you consume alcohol on that day?
yes.
How much did you consume, ma'am?
Well, we went 3-1. You consumed quite a bit, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, you gotta talk to me, please. Talk to me.
You gotta
How much
help
did you
yourself.
drink?
I would say a few drinks over the course of the day.
Know what a few means. That could mean 3. It could mean 32. I don't know what you mean. Roughly how many drinks, what kind of drinks were you consuming?
How much did you have? Did you have mixed drinks or did you have beer or a different type of drink?
It was seltzers.
Alcoholic seltzers?
Yeah.
That have vodka in them?
Yeah.
Okay.
How
And
many, ma'am?
how many did you consume?
I would say like 6.
Six.
How big were the seltzers? Were they 32 ounces? Ms. Jones, you are being asked a question by a judge right now, and you are in a courtroom. I don't care if you're in a lawyer's office or not. You are in a courtroom. I want a straight answer from you. I want to know how much you drank.
They were 12 ounces. I would say 6 over
Well, with a
a
3-1, you
3-hour
You
period.
drink more than 6 over. So when did you start drinking? We'll start there.
All right, that's okay. She just doesn't want to answer. I get it. Ms. Jones, I want to remind you, you're in a courtroom.
Oh, I don't.
Ms. Jones, if you want to carry on a conversation with your lawyer, you tell me and we'll come back to you. But otherwise, you look at me and you talk to me and you answer me truthfully and completely. Do we understand one another?
Tell him.
Do we understand one another?
Yes.
Can I have a minute, Your Honor? I'm sorry. I apologize. Give me one moment, please. Your Honor, may I have a moment, please? I apologize. Can we come back? Can you recall our case? Is that okay?
We'll go off the record on this and I'll come back to you. Tell her to change her attitude. Your name again, ma'am?
Alyssa Jones.
Mr. Holmberg?
Yes, Your Honor. Edward Holberg on behalf of the defendant. Your Honor, we did have a conversation. She is prepared to make an admission that she had 10 drinks. Some of those had 10% alcohol. Some of them had, I believe, 5.5% alcohol.
Ma'am, is that true? I need to see her face.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you consumed, you heard what your lawyer just said. He's telling me now you had 10 drinks, some of which had 10% alcohol in them. Is that true?
Correct.
All right. Any reason to dispute the accuracy of the PBT that came up at 0.31?
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am, I'm asking you.
No, Your Honor.
As the count 2 that you failed to submit to chemical testing on August the 13th How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
Did you fail to submit the testing on that date?
Yes. But I did, once I realized that I did not show up for that or my color was called, I did go test within 24 hours or the very next day.
All right, anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
Ms. Wilds, your name?
Elizabeth Frustration.
I'm gonna accept your plea as to count one, accept your plea as to count two. I'm going to go ahead and listen to what you have to say, Mr. Holmberg, and then we're gonna come back and address this other motion. You can go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. She realizes she made a terrible mistake. She was with some girlfriends. They had gone to the zoo, came home, were discussing. She gave into peer pressure. She drank obviously too much. She's aware of that. She knows she had a zero tolerance. She wasn't supposed to drink. She took responsibility for it, Your Honor. I would ask that you hold any sanctions of jail in abeyance at this time. She has completed everything, I believe. I believe all her fines and costs are paid off. I believe the only thing that is outstanding is one class, an anger management or a domestic violence class that she is scheduled to do on October 7th. So I believe she is compliant with everything else.
She has 2 prior drunk drivings. A third one was dismissed. This was an R&O case. That's really high, Ms. Jones. I need to see her.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Your Honor. There.
That is really high.
I'm aware, Your Honor. I do apologize.
Well, I don't want you to apologize. This is not about apologizing. This is about your health, and this is serious business now. I mean, it really is. What happened can you tell me what happened when the police were called about the alleged assault? Do you have any idea?
Please.
I don't need it. Can you tell me, was she determined to be the one who committed the assault?
Yes, Your Honor. I do believe that charges at this point may or may not be filed. I'm not seeing anything in our system with it being out of Flat Rock. But yes, it's very clear according to the police report that she was never arrested under any circumstance.
All right. What else? What would you like to say, Mr. Holmberg, before I sentence her?
Again, Your Honor, she has taken responsibility. She's been taking her probation serious. She has done everything she's supposed to do and paid all fines and costs. This was unfortunately a blip on the screen. She is scheduled to take that final class. We would just ask that the court treat this as a warning to the defendant and not hold any, not sentence to any jail time at this point.
Beth, tell me how the outpatient treatment's going.
Her outpatient treatment is going well. She's attending weekly at Hagera. She started at the beginning of August. She has attended, per my last report from her therapist, she's attended all of her sessions. She hasn't missed any or rescheduled.
Started when?
August 6th, Your Honor.
So after that incident, 4 days later. Did you tell your therapist about that, Ms. Jones?
Yeah, she's aware. We talked about it on our last session.
And I'm going to stay corrected, Your Honor. I apologize. She actually started in June.
Okay, so she,
Almost immediately after sentencing, I forgot I had this other report.
so when I see this tells me it's not working. If you started in June and you're drinking to the tune of 0.31 in early August, specifically August the 2nd, it tells me that you're not learning much or the treatment is not being successful. I'm not only concerned about you drinking, young lady, I'm concerned about the extent to which you were drinking. I mean, most people be falling down and vomiting long before that. I'm only telling you, I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just warning you, and I'm concerned about you. I mean, you are the whopping age of 29, right?
Yes.
How often do I have her testing right now? Mr. Holmberg, where
Yes,
is your
Your Honor.
client? Does she work?
Yes, you are working presently, correct? Yes.
Yes.
What are you doing? Tell the judge.
I work for a company called VisiPay. It's a merchant service provider.
You're paid, here's the cost of $100. You're to continue testing bi-weekly until December 31. You're to serve 2 days on the court work program and pay $70 for that. And you are to be on a SoberLink device by the end of the day for 60 days, okay? I want you to understand, I don't know how to put it to you other than I'm concerned about this. I don't mean that you're a bad person, but you got a history of this. This is not good. You need to stop. This isn't having a social drink or two. Can she pay her 170 today, or does she need time, Mr. Holmberg?
She can pay it today, Your Honor.
No, I need time.
Oh, she needs time. I apologize.
I'll just give her until September 30th. Is that enough time?
September 30th, that would give you 15 days. Yes, Your Honor.
And then on the other, is ironic as it sounds, let me just make a note. By the way, why weren't you here when you were supposed to be here last time?
She had some issues with family getting care, Your Honor. She did come to my office. We did log on late. That's true. Then I said, when we couldn't, no one picked up. I said, why don't we go in person? We met at the courthouse. Unfortunately, the docket had already been called. And I believe the Friday after there wasn't a docket at the courthouse. Then we found out that it was rescheduled for the 15th, and here we are.
Why does she need a medical marijuana card?
That you can answer better. Why do you have a card, Alyssa?
Why do I have?
Yes.
Well, I have an autoimmune disease for one, anxiety.
Good enough.
Depression.
Okay, so listen, here's what I'm doing. As much as I'm not in favor of this, it's counterproductive. I'm not going to stand here or sit here rather and say, when the voters look, you have the right to use medical marijuana. There's nothing I can do, in my view, unless you're in a sobriety court, to stop you. The defendant will not be violated if she tests positive for THC, so long as she possesses a medical marijuana card and provides proof of same to probation. Okay? Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, that is the order of the court. I wish you well. Thank you, Ms. Wilds. Thanks.
Have a good day, and I appreciate it. That was very generous of you, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning. Are you Crystal Bogan? And Ms. Bogan was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to theft of property, a state jail felony. That agreement was for a 4-year deferred probation with a $1,000 fine, as well as restitution in the amount of $9,400. I've received the pre-sentence report. Have y'all all had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes.
And any additions or corrections or?
There's a lot of history, we understand, but discussed with counsel also about restitution.
Speak up, I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure the court knows restitution, most of the main issue we're looking at, get some of that money back.
I've got 1, 2, 3 and a quarter pages of criminal history. Well, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't dismissed. There were 14 felonies that weren't dismissed. At least 4 or 5 misdemeanors that weren't dismissed. I understand the restitution, and y'all know my position on that already this morning, but there's I mean, she's on probation right now in Sutton County, correct?
Yes.
Right. So do they know about this case? And what has happened over there, if anything?
I'm still continuing on my degree. Because I'm also supposed to start using
I can't understand you.
I'm supposed to start nursing school.
When?
I was actually supposed to start in September, but I had to wait to see.
Are you really going to be able to go to nursing
Yes, I
school
am.
with this type of criminal
Yes, ma'am.
history?
Yes, ma'am. Because I haven't been convicted of it. I'm a CNA now.
Where do you live now?
In Houston.
Okay, another issue that I see on here also is the restitution, because it shows 9,400, but then it also, that was from inside the bank, and then it shows 500 from an ATM and 100 from a cash app, totaling 10,000, not 9,400. Is that correct?
And that would have been added on, Your Honor, that's a bank fee, I believe. I don't think that.
Well, it says 500 was withdrawn from an ATM outside the bank. Is that right? You know better than anybody.
I only went into it. I didn't have no access to the card.
Okay. So possibly the other person that was involved did that?
Only thing we knew about
That
was
was,
9,400 that was within the bank.
I wasn't aware of, Your Honor, when we did it, when I got the PSIs, when I was notified, I was in the cash wrap. But if it was a withdrawal, then that would be her responsibility joint and separately, so
Right, it says, so
that's a request.
the contact from Do Good said that the defendant withdrew the entire loan amount of 10,000, 94 from inside the bank, 500 from an ATM, and 100 from a cash app transaction. It doesn't matter if you did it or if the other person that you were with did it. Y'all were working together. So you're both, and what's the other status of the?
I don't have the other status of another person, Your Honor, that's just one who was, that's the charge. I'm not coaching on there. But she's responsible.
Yeah. So I mean, if there was another person, and you didn't give that information, then that's, okay. Apparently the cops didn't either, so.
She went in the bank, she was one call. Size, whether or not she had a conference. The backside, not to my knowledge.
And hold on. So the probations in Sutton County, have they been transferred to Harris County? So you're going in person in Harris County? Okay, and so it's the state's position to go forward with the agreement?
I understand the court's concern, and the state has the same. Like I said, our initial deal was to get some of the money back on our victim, however, we understand.
So, all right, so here's what I'm gonna do, Ms. Bogan. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Can y'all hold it down over there, please? I'm gonna find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I just don't know. I just can't believe I'm even considering doing this, honestly. I'm not. I can't. There's no way. It has to be straight probation, and I realize that that's gonna potentially, have some issues, but I can't with 14 prior felony offenses, same type of thing, so.
I don't.
You do,
No, I don't. No, I don't.
okay? How many do you think you have?
I have 3 here and one back home.
Okay, you have lots of them that were at the same time for different offenses.
And I was never convicted, never charged.
Yeah, you did probations for them. Forgery of a financial instrument, don't talk over me. March 3rd, 2008, Harris County, 180 days in jail, so that one was reduced. March of 2014, forging identification cards in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, 1 year probation. Same charge, same probation, so that's 2 in Ohio. March of 2014, theft, aggravated theft in Ohio, another probation, the same date, but still another charge. March of 2014, attempted drug possession, pled guilty, 1 year probation. March of 2014, same thing in Ohio, possessing criminal tools, probation, all of that. It was at the same time, but still different cases. November of 2014, forgery, 2 cases, got probations in those. I'm gonna run out of fingers. March, another one, a theft, aggravated theft in Ohio in 2014. Then we go to Sutton County, Texas, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 continuous smuggling of persons for pecuniary benefit. And that's the 10-year probation that you're on in 5 different cases. That's not correct.
No. Okay.
So how many cases are you on probation for in Sutton County?
It all ran together.
I understand it all. It doesn't run, but that's not how it works.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
When it runs together, it just means you're serving it at this. I'm rejecting the plea agreement. I'm resetting your case for 3 weeks. We'll see you back in 3 weeks. Y'all can talk about it then. You're at, ma'am,
What?
this is not gonna help.
It don't matter, my life's on that.
Well, looks like you did that, not me. I'll see you in 3 weeks. Come on, hold on, get her, don't let her go. Come back. Everybody heard it.
You're bullshit.
Come back.
Sure, lawyer.
I told my lawyer he was bullshit. I didn't say this.
You don't talk like that to anybody in this case because he didn't do this either, you did.
He got me the plea.
He did get you he did a great job. I'm gonna find at this time that your bond is not sufficient because of your attitude and because of your criminal, because of your,
I gotta go to work, so I'm gonna lose my job and everything too.
Well, maybe you shouldn't cuss at your lawyer. Maybe you shouldn't have this attitude here in the courtroom. I'm going to raise your bond. What's the bond currently set at? Don't cry now after saying it's bullshit to him and acting like this in here. Stop. No, you're going to make it worse. You're just going to make it worse. You should, when I told you a minute ago to stop, you should have stopped when I told you to. Let's see, can you? All right, I'm going to set your bond at $25,000. Go back with the bailiff.